Differential expression and splicing data in ImmunoLand can be visualized at the gene and transcript level with ImmunoLand views and the OmicsSoft genome browser. We will look at SERPINB7 expression in this example. Using the Land Analytics Sample Grouping Splicing Integration module, we previously discovered that SERPINB7 has splicing differences between lesional and non-lesional psoriasis samples. Change to the Gene FPKM view. We previously created a sample set of lesional and non-lesional psoriasis samples. So for convenience, we will filter on this sample set. You can also just filter for disease state, psoriasis, and sample pathology, lesional and non-lesional samples. Now we will group on sample pathology. This split lesional from non-lesional samples. Let's select a few samples from each group to look at in the genome browser. Hold down Control to select multiple groups. Click Browse Selected Samples. Open RNA-seq BAS files for selection. Again, we will group by sample pathology. Here we can see that gene coverage for SERPINB7 is different between lesional and non-lesional samples. The main difference is differential usage of exons. Here we will focus on splicing differences. First, let's zoom in on the 5' exons of SERPINB7 by holding down Shift and then selecting this region. On the left, choose Show Exon Junctions to show usage of each exon junction. Click on the plus sign to see all available junctions. We can see in lesional samples, thousands of reads map to this exon junction, whereas very few map to these junctions. In contrast, in non-lesional samples, very few map to this exon junction, but thousands map to this junction. Splicing differences can also be visualized within ImmunoLand with transcript views. We will select the Transcript FPKM multi-transcript chart. Our sample set filter is still active, so you can see differences in transcript usage between lesional and non-lesional samples. To visualize individual sample points, click the Task tab under the View controller, then click Change Profile Gallery and select Scatter. You will notice the difference in transcript levels between lesional and non-lesional samples. Yet another way to visualize transcript differences is the Genome Browser Exon Details view within ImmunoLand. This view shows exon level expression within sample groups. In the transcript tract, you can see each annotated transcript. The relative opacity shows the relative usage within the samples shown. And within a transcript, the colors show which sample group is primarily contributing to this transcript type. It's clear that the first transcript is most highly expressed in lesional samples, while the second transcript is more highly expressed in non-lesional samples. Similarly, in the read mapping tracks, split again by our sample pathology grouping, shows many more reads in the most upstream exon only in the lesional samples. These are just some of the ways to visualize splicing and expression differences in the many datasets in ImmunoLand.